Hi, my name is Novella Perro, and I'm doing my oral presentation about the theorist Alfred Charles Kinsey. Kinsey was born on June 23, 1894 in Hoboken, New Jersey. He was a biologist and also a professor of entomology and zoology. Kinsey, a few of the important aspects of his career were that Kinsey published a book called Sexual Behavior in the Human Male, which is a bestseller, and it was based on more than 5,000 sexual histories of men. He also, a few years later, he also published a book called Sexual Behavior in the Human Female, which is based on more than 6,000 sexual histories of females. He also founded the Kinsey Institute at Indiana in Bloomington, and they studied gender, sexuality, and reproduction. He also he also studied gall wasps. That's spelled Gallwasps. He studied the mating habits and variations in gall wasps. And he studied gall wasps he did it as a thesis. His thesis for his doctoral degree was in the study of gall wasps, and it is believed that his study in the mating habits of gall wasps led him to wonder if there were many variations of sexual behavior in human beings. And he, after having talked to one of his colleagues, he eventually began to study sexual mating habits and variations in humans. And a few of his contributions to psychology was the Kinsey Institute, as I mentioned before, where they studied sexuality, gender, and reproduction in human beings. He also developed a scale, which was a scale from 0 to 6, and 0 meaning that a person was extremely heterosexual, and 6 meant that a person was extremely homosexual. He also introduced the gall wasps to the scientific community, and and of more than 18 million insects at the American Museum of Natural History in New York, their collection, some 5 million gall wasps were collected by Kinsey. And one of his theories was that he believed that delayed marriage or delayed sexual experience was psychologically harmful to people. He also believed that women were as sexual as men were. And based on his study and writing of his book, The Sexual Behavior in Human Females, he discovered that women were just as sexual as men were. In this book, the publication of that book is what is believed to the publication of sexual behavior in the human male and sexual behavior in the human female is believed to be what started the sexual revolution of 1960 and 1970. And a couple of his claims to fame was that he was regarded as the father of sexology. He was one of the first psychologists to do an in-depth study of human sexuality. And as I mentioned before, he published the Kinsey reports. The books Sexual Behavior in the Human Male and Sexual Behavior in the Human Female later became known as the Kinsey Report. And there was controversy about the reports because at that time, sex was something that was the society was more conservative in talking about sex, but Kinsey was more open with it through his publication of his book, and it created a lot of controversy. But people became sexually revolutionized through his book, and some aspect of his contribution for in today's society. One of his contributions was the Kinsey Institute, because today they still investigate sexual behavior and sexual health, and they carry out its mission through development of collection of resources for scholars, programs of research and research publications, and presentation of interdisciplinary conferences and seminars, and provisions of information services and graduate training. If you want more information about Alfred Kinsey, you can go to www.psychologistanywhereanytime.com. Thank you.